Hello, this is Dave's Trumpet on YouTube. The other evening, as I was digging in the closet in my music room, looking for a foot pedal to use with my new Tascam Pocketstudio DP-008, I came across its grandfather, this Tascam PortaOne Ministudio, which was kind of a trip down memory lane to me, kind of looking at the features and comparing it to its new little grandson here. The PortaOne Ministudio was kind of like the thing in the 1980s, probably up to the 1990s. I got mine in 1987 for $649. I still have the stickers there with the price. It was a great machine. It had 4 mic line inputs, which were controlled by each of these channels. Your trim, which would control your level there and here. A real nice EQ built in on board, and your pan here. Say for instance, if we wanted to record track 1 and 2, I would slide that to 1, to 2. I would move this slider down the mic line. Your inputs would be here, and you would click and go. Of course, the format obviously was cassette tape. It had pitch control, a very nice lighted VU meter system here, which I kind of miss. This new way of doing it with bars. I don't know, to me the analog meters were just so more responsive. You could see what was going on kind of before it got there. It's kind of hard to explain, but trust me, you could see the direction. I don't know. I just preferred those, but I'm getting used to the bar style that they have on the digital equipment now. Anyway, it had noise reduction. Didn't have reverb like the newfangled things do, so you had to use it. I used an Alesis MIDI Verb 2. Didn't have XLR inputs. As you can see, it's playing on all the other sides there. This output feature was pretty neat because each individual track could be outputted. So for instance, I could output track 1, run it through the tape output here. Yeah, exactly. I could loop it into an effect and run it into another track, or you could do any kind of thing like that. I never did do that, but the fact that your 4 tracks that were recorded also had individual outputs was kind of neat at the time. Of course, it had the standard RCA line out here, which you would, back then we mastered to cassette, believe it or not. Tascam also made an 8-track version of this that a lot of bands use and stuff like that. It was a little bit problematic, or kind of picky, in that you're recording 8 tracks on a very small piece of tape, so you had to be careful with it. You had to use kind of short tapes. You couldn't use the 120-minute tapes, stuff like that. Anyway, the headphones were here, 1/4-inch headphones, and the little punch in and out pedal here. So it was just kind of a neat little thing pulling that out, and I thought, well, I'm going to compare that to the little new kid on the block here, Tascam's new little they call it a Pocketstudio, which is kind of a silly name, but okay. So it's a Pocketstudio. I'm not sticking it in my pocket, but this is the new generation of things here. This is really cool. Actually, I had considered buying their DP-004 4-track recorder, and if I was going to do that, I would have to buy new cables for my mics and stuff like this, because it only had 1/4-inch inputs, and I kept seeing the graphic of this on their website, and actually I had already added the DP-004 to my cart on Amazon, and as I was looking at features on their website, on Tascam's website, I kept seeing the graphic for this, and I thought, well, I don't know, let me go ahead and click on it. It's going to be a whole lot more. I was expecting $400, $500, $600. Well, I got this with overnight delivery for about $250, which is incredible. Look at this, $650 for this old guy, $250 for this. It is great. It only has 2 1/4-inch in plugs, line A and B, which you can control the level, either mic or guitar, mic or line, and it's got 2 XLRs, which is really nice that it has phantom power. So if you're using a condenser microphone, like I'm recording this right now on my Neumann, it's got onboard phantom power. It also has a couple of extra cool things, like a tuner, a built-in electronic tuner, and a metronome. It's customizable as most people know, the defaults of any multi-track recorder. Usually your input A defaults to track 1, input B to track 2, etc., etc. So this would be left, right, or A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Well, if you're like me and you don't like pulling cords in and out and putting them around and changing A to B and all this stuff, you can reassign. So instead of track 2 defaulting to input B, you can change that to default to A. So you can have this A all the way across, so you'd never have to move your cables or your cords around or plug in and out and stuff like that. So for me, that's kind of good because it kind of keeps the flow of ideas and everything going. It's got an onboard reverb, which is really neat. It's got EQ over here. Of course, it's got pan, obvious. Your level set here and here. Headphone level is back around here, just kind of little dial type there. This is kind of a neat function. When you stop, this RTZ means return to 0. So you go stop, you hold that in and push that button and it goes to 0 where you were. If you've backed up and you're in the middle of something and you recorded, to the end of a tune and started something, you can go to this and it will take you to the last place recorded. So it's stop, and what looks like fast forward buttons will take you to the next project, which is kind of cool. What else is on here that I should mention? The music transfer to the computer it could be improved. If I was going to give it any kind of marks down, it would be on that. It's not like a lot of typical plug and play things, like your little flip camera like I have here, or any other kind of item where you plug it into your computer and it's software assisted to take your files off this. That doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, you have to export onto a partition part of your SD card before you can transfer it to the computer. I haven't timed it exactly, but it seems like it takes about 80% of the time. So if you have a 10-minute track, it's going to take about 8 minutes to export it onto the SD card. So you have a little bit of redundancy, I believe, because the SD card fills up quite a bit with you saving tracks and masters. But that's the only way you can transfer it to the computer. Like I said, it's not plug and play where you can plug it in and look on your computer where the raw data would be. It doesn't do that. So that's kind of a mark down for them. I don't know what they were thinking, but I guess they have the reasons. But it, also functions like a regular old style 4-track because it 8-track, multi-track recorder. It has line out here. So if you had another source besides computer that you wanted master to, you could do that. Okay, I'm getting up about the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to make my comments brief. Anyway, this wasn't really meant as a review, as it was just kind of a comparison of old technology to new technology, and I just kind of thought that was kind of neat. The 2 built-in microphones are very, very good. As I found out, I thought I had plugged my Neumann in when I first started recording, and lo and behold, the first several tracks that I used, input, I don't know, didn't quite put the input setting right, and I didn't know, but I was recording with the internal microphones and they sounded fabulous, so they were enough to fool me. So they're good, and they're good for getting quick ideas and stuff like that. So here you go. Here's the new technology, the little grandbaby, and here's the grandfather, the Ministudio and the Pocketstudio. This is 8 tracks, this is 4 tracks. This is more than 25 years ago, cost more than twice as much, and here you go, $250, $650. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.